So in the maximum strain energy theory, this theory is due to the Hayes. There is a scientist Hayes. That's why we call it as a Hayes theory. This theory also we call it as a Hayes theory. So in the maximum strain energy theory, the failure will occur in the material when the strain energy, the total strain energy in the material will reaches the strain energy at the elastic limit in the simple tension. I will write clearly. The total strain energy per unit volume in the material reaches the strain energy per unit volume of the material at elastic limit in simple tension. So we discussed already this one. Like previous theories also, the total strain energy, whatever per unit volume, whatever we are getting the total strain energy in the material, it reaches the strain energy per unit volume of the material at elastic limit in the simple tension. Okay. So now what is our main motto? First we have to calculate the total strain energy and then strain energy at the elastic limit. When the total strain energy per unit volume is greater than or equal to strain energy per unit volume of the material at elastic limit in simple tension. Okay. When that condition is satisfied, definitely there will be a failure will occur. And most important thing, we already know the strain energy. What is strain energy? Anyone please respond? Strain energy of the body is equal to, what is that? Work done by anyone? Work done by the load. Yes or no? So that's why the strain energy is equal to half into P into delta L. So my dear students, if you observe this one, we denoted with U equal to strain energy. So anyone knows this one in SM1? You people learn already. Already, do you know this formula?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. That's what I am saying. So if you don't respond, that means I thought that maybe you don't know. Okay. So in the strain energy, first we will calculate from this one. Okay. What is strain energy? Half into P into delta L. Okay. Again, we know already the stress formula and also strain formula. Stress equal to P by A. Then P equal to what happens? P into delta, sigma into delta A. Again, we know the strain value, change in length by original length. Then delta L equal to what happens? E into L. We know these two conditions very thoroughly. Okay. Now I substitute up in the P and delta L these two values. Okay. What happens? Half into P is sigma into A multiplied by delta L is nothing but E into L. Next, half into sigma into E into A into L. Okay. Here what happens? The original length is nothing but not small l, it's a capital L. Okay. So what happens? Sigma is stress, E is strain. This one is the, what happens? Volume. That's why this is the strain energy formula we got here. So now I am writing in this one half into stress into strain into volume. So the strain energy we got in this form. So now if I got the strain energy, if I write like this, strain energy per unit volume, what happens? Half into stress into strain. That is half into sigma into E. The final strain energy, we got this one per unit volume. This is the most important and very easiest way you have to calculate. How I will explain again and for your better understanding. We know the strain energy formula, that is half into P into delta L. The strain energy is nothing but work done by the load in the starting material. This is nothing but half into P into delta L. Once if P is we know already P is nothing but the load and delta is the change in length. We know the stress strain formula. Stress is load by area. So from this we got the P value, that is sigma into A, that is the stress into area, and the strain value also we know, that is the change in length by original length, that is delta L by L. So from this we got delta L is nothing but strain into original length. So now this P value and also delta value, these two values we substituted in this equation. So what happens? Again I am writing separately sigma here and also E here. Then A into L, both we call it as a volume. Area into length, we call it as a volume. I written like this, half into stress, and this one is a strain and this one is a volume. This is the strain energy. Now if I need per unit volume, the formula is half into stress into strain. That is half into sigma into E. This is the strain energy per unit value. Now the same thing if I consider for the three-dimensional system, what happens? The principal stresses are sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, and corresponding principal strains are E1, E2 and E3. These are the principal stresses and these are the principal strain. Now if we know the formulas E1, what is the E1 formula? Sigma 1 by E minus mu by E into sigma 2 plus sigma 3, and E2 equal to sigma 2 by E minus mu by E into sigma 1 plus sigma 3, and E3 equal to sigma 3 by E minus mu by E into sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So these all are our principal strain formulas. Now what happens if you consider the three-dimensional? Now just in normal dimension for the strain energy half into sigma E. But if I consider for the three-dimensional, like corresponding with the same system, if apply for the three-dimensional system, what happens? The strain energy formula, the total strain energy. Now I am calculating. Please observe clearly. The total strain energy per unit volume in three-dimensional system is U equal to half into sigma 1 into E1 plus half into sigma 2 into E2 plus half into sigma 3 into E3. Why we are considering this one means this is we are taking into the principal stresses and the principal strain in the three-dimensional. Whatever we are taking in two-dimensional is half into sigma E. That is enough for the strain energy. But if you consider the strain energy, the total strain energy per unit volume in the three-dimensional system, it is like this. If you consider in this case, what happens? Out 1, 2, 3 like this. So all principal stresses and principal strain. Now already the sigma 1 we know, and the E1 values here, whatever the E1, E2, E3, these all things now I will substitute in this formula. What happens? Half into sigma 1 into sigma 1 by E minus mu by E into sigma 2 plus sigma 3 plus half into sigma 2 into sigma 2 by E minus mu by E into sigma 1 plus sigma 3 plus half into sigma 3 into sigma 3 by E minus mu by E into sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So now I substituted the strain values here, E1 and E2 and also E3. So what happens finally if I solve this one? I got like this, 1 by 2E sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square minus 2 mu into sigma 1 sigma 2 plus sigma 2 sigma 3 sigma 3 sigma 1. This value is the total strain energy. Oh, sorry, excuse me. This value, whatever we got, this one, it is a very easy. Don't afraid of this one. From the starting, there is a small formula. This one half into sigma E. Half into sigma E. Only remember this one. You know already this one for the strain values. So once you remember this half into sigma c formula for the strain energy, directly you are considering the three-dimensional. Then we are substitute all the strain values in the strain energy formula. Finally, we got the strain energy formula is this one. Okay. Now this is the total strain energy. But now we need only why? Because as what the theory is saying, maximum strain energy theory, when the total strain energy per unit volume reaches the strain energy per unit volume in the simple tension at elastic limit. Now we will calculate the strain energy. So now strain energy per unit volume. Okay, that is half into sigma t star into Et star. We know already. Et star is due to sigma t star. Okay, per unit volume in the at elastic limit in simple tension. Okay, so now half into sigma t star. This is the strain value. We know already Young's modulus formula, stress by strain. So now we need this E. What happens? Sigma by E. When corresponding to T star, it is definitely sigma T star. So substitute this one into this strain value. That is sigma T star by capital E. What happens? 1 by 2U into sigma T star whole square. This is the strain energy per unit volume in the elastic limit or the simple tension. So now we know this one and we know this formula, two formulas. Only from these two formulas only we will say this condition, if it is greater than this value, definitely there will be a failure occur. Like that you have to calculate. Anyway, I will equal these two for your better understanding. All are very, very easy once if you practice thoroughly. This is very easy subject. Greater than or equal to. So this is the condition. When 2e cancel, what happens? Sigma t square, sigma 3 square minus 2 mu into. So this is the condition where we have to satisfy the maximum strain energy theory. If the condition is satisfied, we know already in the problem they will give directly sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 and sigma t star. If the condition is satisfied, definitely there will be a failure will occur. If not, what happens? The failure will not occur. Okay, like that you have to calculate. And my dear students, one more important thing what I am saying, this subject is very, very easy. Simply you have to practice 1 or 2 times. Okay, so now still now is it okay for all of you? Is it clear? Please respond anyone. Otherwise I will explain one more time.
Clear, sir. Clear.
Clear. Yeah, anyone please. Yeah, that's why I will explain again for briefly. Very, very, see my dear students, if I share directly PPT, you didn't understand very clearly. That's why even the time is taking a lot, I am writing each and every step, like even we feel like it's like an offline classroom. Okay, whatever I will write on the blackboard, same like that I am writing here for your better understanding. So from my side I am clear. So from your side you have to listen properly and you have to write the notes properly, then definitely you will understand clearly. Otherwise this one is very difficult for you people. Okay, so here the total strain energy, the condition is the total strain energy per the unit volume in the material, it reaches the strain energy per unit volume of the material at elastic limit in simple tension. So everyone knows the strain energy formula, half into P into delta L. So P is nothing but load and delta L is the change in length. So now if you observe this one, sigma value, that is the stress value, stress condition is load by area and strain is change in length by original length. From that we got the P value and delta L value. We substituted in that So the strain energy per unit volume, finally we got half into sigma E. This is nothing but half into stress by strain. So now I consider the three-dimensional system. From that three-dimensional system, the principal stresses and strains are sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 is the principal stresses, and E1, E2, E3 are the principal strains. So now same like that, we know already the strain values in three-dimensional system. The same thing, whatever we are taking, the 2D value is half into sigma E. The strain energy, please consider in the three-dimensional system like this. So directly we will enter in the these formulas. Then you will get one condition. This is a total strain energy per unit volume in three-dimensional system. Now same like that, if I consider the strain energy per unit volume, that is half into sigma T star into E star. Okay, so we know already what is the E is strain. That means Young's modulus formula, stress by strain value. Definitely from that I substituted here. Finally I got the condition, this one. So we know two conditions. From that I wrote like this. So this is the condition finally we got when the if you do on any type of the problem, if the condition is same, so definitely we have to failure will be there. Okay, anyway I will we will solve one problem. You have to solve, you have to say answer to me. Determine the failure of the material will occur or not according to the maximum strain energy theory. I will give sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3. That is 200. All of you note down. 100, 50 Newton per mm square. That means it is in compression. That's why minus 50 Newton per mm square. This one is tensile. This one is tensile. Okay. So now mu equal to 0.3. And sigma T star, that is elastic limit in simple tension, 200 Newton per mm square. So now calculate the total strain energy per unit volume. The formula is 1 by 2E sigma 1 square, sigma 2 square, sigma 3 square minus 2 mu into sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 2, sigma 3 plus sigma 3, sigma 1. So all of you substitute here 1 by 2E into how much value this one we got. Please substitute sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 and mu and tell me this value how much you will get. Please all of you calculate. I will wait for 2 more minutes. Please tell me the answer. I will ask randomly. Please tell me this. Please calculate and tell me the answer. Eighteen 158 Ellen. What is the answer? Nineteen 156 Saitaram. What is the answer?
Sir, I'm calculating, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. Do it fast. 19 116 Avinash. Avinash, please respond. Pranit Sai, 19121. So here 1 by 2e is common. No need of entering any substituting into the e. Don't enter like this. Only enter substitute sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, mu is 0.3. Then substitute here, you will get some value. Yeah, please tell me the answer. Obul ready?
49500 divided by 2.
Yeah, 49500 divided by 2. Yes, your right answer. Anyone done same like that? It's okay, fine. Next, moving ahead. So this is a total strain energy. So now I will calculate the strain energy per unit volume at elastic limit in simple tension is half 1 by 2 into sigma t star square. So 1 by 2e into 200 square. So tell me the answer. How much? 200 square?
40000.
Yes. So finally, which values we got it here? Here the total strain energy 49500. 2e is greater than or equal to 40,000 by 2e. So is this condition is right or wrong?
Right.
Yes or no? Anyone? Other people, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Right, sir, right.
Right. Okay. So then failure will occur or not?
Yes, sir, it will occur.
Yeah. So failure will occur. So like that.